Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Whitney's World. I am excited to talk to you guys today. I have a requested episode from one of my listeners, and I'm super pumped to get into this because I think this is something that we all struggle with, and there's not really a bunch of knowledge on this topic, especially when it happens to us. So I really want to bring up the subject of friendships and when we lose friends, why this is happening, what's going on, and how we could really move past it, heal, and take it as a lesson, and then open ourselves up to new friendships. Friendships are such a crucial part to our lives, but sometimes they break away, they fall away. Sometimes it's just inevitable that friendships do come to an ending and fade away. So in this episode, we're going to talk about why this happens, how we can find closure, and how to handle a friendship breakup, because sometimes breaking up with a friend is actually harder than breaking up with a significant other. So let me know in the comments if you guys are resonating to that, because I feel personally like in my life, since I moved to Florida, I have really had a shedding of friendships. There are very few friends in my life to this day that I'm still friends with. And I think, to be honest, when this started to happen, I really thought like, maybe there's something wrong with me. Like maybe this is happening because I'm a bad friend. Like, why am I losing all of my friends? Why are my friendships falling away? And it's a really interesting thing to experience in this life. And it's not always comfortable. And a lot of times, like when you lose friendships, you also lose an entire other part of yourself, is what it feels like, because you grow so close with this person. Like a lot of the friends that I am just not really friends with anymore are, a few of them have been friends of mine for years and years and years, like 12 years, 9 years, 6 years, and it was like a really weird thing to experience. But I want to tell you that this is just part of life. It is part of growth. It is part of our story. And to be honest, I used to have a ton of friends, but they weren't actually like close, really deep friends. I had a lot of friends, I would say, like kind of I knew about their lives, they knew about mine, but like that was it. There was no spiritual connection. There was no deep embodiment of growing each other and challenging each other and really supporting each other on like the evolution of life that we are all going through. A lot of my friendships, we had different beliefs on, spiritual things, on lifestyle and what we did for work, which is okay. But there wasn't really, what I learned, there wasn't really like a collective thing in our friendship. It was just very sporadic. It was very, I don't know, like kind of high school. And I guess this is why maybe I lost some of these friends, was just because there was no depth to it. And as I woke up and had my spiritual awakening, I feel like I have so much depth. And I've done such deep studies on spirituality, manifestation, mindset work. And it's really hard to cultivate deep friendships when the person on the other side really has no knowledge of what's going on. And you really can't cultivate like a deep relationship with them anymore. And so from my perspective and from my seasons of life, the relationships that fell away, this was like a natural thing. And I would say that I don't have any resentment towards the friends that, we're not friends anymore. I don't believe that they're angry at me. Some of us have texted and just kind of like cleared the air. And that really makes me happy. And I feel like that is the ultimate goal, because when you are in friendship and you are in communion with someone and you have two hearts at stake, obviously sometimes shit just hits the fan and someone did something they shouldn't have done, or, you just had a misunderstanding, or, you had a big falling out, whatever it is. Like, you are dealing with two hearts and there are two sides to the story. My dad likes to say there's always three sides to the story. There's your side, their side, and the truth. And I always really sit with that and think about that, because it is true. Like, I'm perceiving my story from my perception. The other friendship person is perceiving their side from their perception and where they're at in life. But then there's just like the truth. And so I think sometimes it's hard to look at situations and look at the other person and look at their side, because we are just in our own world and in our own life. But when you can really try to find a medium and just say, hey, like, I love you. I know our friendship is, not the same, but just know, like, if there's ever anything you ever need from me, I'm here for you. Like, I got you. Even though we don't talk and we aren't really friends anymore, it's okay. So when it comes to why do friendships end? Because again, there's not a lot of information on this when it comes to the internet. And I do feel like this is such an important topic that we really need to be talking about, because this is natural. It is natural to have friendships end, and it's okay. This is what happens when we change. This is what happens when you move. This is what happens when you're evolving naturally and you want more for your life as you grow, as you graduate and move on, and you just like grow through the world. These friendships just change. Your values are different, your goals are different, and you even have different lifestyle shifts. Like, for me, it's really important to me to eat healthy and to move my body. I enjoy working out. I really like doing yoga. I really love reading books and listening to podcasts about expanding my mind and learning about manifestations and how to really live this life to the fullest. But I didn't have a lot of friends that seeked that. They didn't really enjoy yoga. They, didn't really enjoy that kind of stuff. I think too, for me, something that I personally had going on was a lot of my friends had kids, and a lot of my friends still do have kids, but I don't have kids. And so I wasn't really able to, in my own life, do things with my friends because their lives were so wrapped around their children. And as they should, like, that they're a freaking mom, like, that's their duty, and they're amazing mothers. But when it came down to, like, things that I wanted to do, it just wasn't, we weren't as free to do that. So again, your lifestyle changes, and your lifestyle could be a reason why maybe your friendships are ending. And you have to remember that as you do kind of go through these friendship shifts, it's not a personal thing. It's really just life. This is just life. There are cycles in life. There are seasons in life. And some people do really come into our life just for a season and a reason. And I do think that is something so hard for us to grasp, but it's true. When I moved to Florida, there were a few people in my life that I was very close to. They taught me a lot. I'm very grateful for them. They helped me so much in a time where I moved and I was broken and lost and afraid. And then now we don't talk anymore. And that's okay. Like, there are no hard feelings. I feel like it's like just life. We are different ages. We're at different stages in our lives. The things that I want for my life are very different than the things that they want for theirs. There's nothing wrong with it. But when you can just accept it and appreciate that person, it really does help you as you go through these seasons of shifting and changing throughout your friendships. Personal transformations in your own life are also a big reason for these friendships probably ending. Your paths just don't align anymore. You're just not aligned with that person. You're trying to go this way. They're trying to go this way. And how are you supposed to grow together when you guys are trying to go different ways? It's just not possible. So it's okay to just say, like, thank you for everything you taught me. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for, being a shoulder I could cry on. But at this time, like, we're just going separate ways, and that is okay. Obviously, the reason that you're going to lose friends is maybe if you have very toxic friendships. I did have a couple toxic friendships in Colorado and Florida that I felt were just very like not healthy. It was a lot of drama. It was a lot of gossip. It was a lot of partying. It just was not growth mindset. It was just very stagnant. It was very stuck. It was just, there was no growth. And so for me, I had to kind of make a decision, like I have to just end this because I really want to change who I am, changing who I am. I am changing where I'm going. And sometimes people are not ready to change, and that is okay. Everyone in life is on their own journey. So you may be going somewhere that someone else is not ready to go. You don't need to carry them. You can't carry them. If they don't want to change and grow and evolve in the way that you want to, they just need to stay where they're at. And again, there's no judgment. This is normal. This is life. Like they are on their own journey. You are on your journey. So it's okay. But for me, the gossip, the toxicity, all that, like I had to stop it because I needed to evolve and grow. And I learned through my own research and study truly how low vibration gossip is. And personally, in my own life, it was just something that I was not willing to do anymore. So these are just a few reasons why sometimes friendships end, and it's okay. And again, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to give you now some tips on how to deal and heal with the friendship breakup. One, you need to allow yourself to grieve. I think that I have been very guilty in my life of suppressing everything. And I think this is part of just who I am, being a Taurus, a bull, like being very goal oriented, being very dominant in my personality, very independent. I don't like when things aren't going my way. I can be very stubborn. I can be very hard-headed. And I think for me, I've been very guilty through any type of breakup of not grieving and not blaming, but just like moving on and not giving myself and my heart the space to cry and to reflect on the relationship and the appreciation of the relationship. And so I really want to encourage you that if you are going through a friendship breakup, journal to that person, write them a letter, write the times that you spent and appreciate and gratitude of that relationship, because you are not a robot. You are a human being with a heart and a soul, and you have the choice to really end the relationship in a way that serves your heart. Because when you end things and you don't grieve and you just shove it down and move on, it doesn't help. And that is going to come up later on. And if you don't learn how to grieve, what's going to happen is you're going to keep getting this in life. Things are going to fall away from you and you're going to suppress them. And then eventually all of that garbage, all of that hurt and pain is going to bubble up, and you're going to flip the F out. You're going to have a moment where you freak out and you have all of this trauma in your body that comes out, and you're like, what's going on? It's because you haven't given yourself time to grieve. You need to allow yourself space and love to grieve that person, because again, they were in your life for a reason, in a season. They meant something to you. You probably shared some very valuable memories with them and heartache with them. And that person was there to catch you when you fell. They answered your calls when you were in a bad place, and maybe vice versa. So again, it's okay to feel sad and confused and just feel it. Literally sit with it. Burn a candle and like play some music and journal to them, and just like let the relationship really seep into you and appreciate it. Give it gratitude. And I promise when you do that, so much good is going to come to you from appreciating and having gratitude from that person. And it does open new doors for you to have new relationships. Also, if you don't grieve and you just move on, you might feel a part of you that doesn't feel like you deserve a new friend. And that's not the truth. That is absolutely a lie. You deserve friends. You deserve people that are at your level where you're at in life. But again, if you're not giving your friendships time to energetically align with where you're at, whether you're entering into a new friendship or ending one, you really need to sit with yourself and appreciate it and reflect on it. Like I was saying earlier, self-reflection is so important in this life, and it is something that we are not taught. We are not taught to reflect in life. We are not taught to look back at the times and really be appreciative. We are just taught to go on. Just move on. Just go. Who cares? They hurt you. You hurt them. Just freaking go. Just shove it down and move on. But that is literally against the feminine energy. And we all have feminine energy, but that literally goes against who we are as human beings. So reflect on it. Allow yourself the time to see, what did I learn from this relationship? And how can I go into a new relationship better and stronger and be a better friend? And when you do that, I promise, you're going to open up new avenues in your life for such stronger relationships that are really deeply connected and probably lasting a very long time, if not forever. And make sure that in the new relationships that you set boundaries. A lot of times I realized that I wasn't really setting boundaries. I was just people pleasing in my relationships. There were times where I didn't want to do something and I did it anyway. Like, for instance, I don't even know if I want to share this, but I'm gonna, because if I can't be vulnerable, what the hell's the point of Whitney's world? So there was a relationship a couple of years ago. It's even hard for me to look in the camera. Okay. I was really in a growth stage. I was really trying to evolve and grow. And I had a friend that I told her, we were kind of with a group of people that really liked going to strip clubs. And I just don't really like going to strip clubs. It's just not really my thing anymore. I have been to strip clubs back in the day, but it's just not my thing. I don't judge. I know people like strip clubs and that's cool. For me, I don't know. I'm not really into it anymore. And I had told this group of friends, I said, hey, I'm down to go out, but I don't want to go to a strip club. And by the end of the night, we were an hour away from my house and we ended up going to a strip club. And that was kind of the point where I was like, you know what? I really need to actually set boundaries, because I very well could have hopped in an Uber and went home. And I should have done that because I really didn't want to, but we had been drinking and we just ended up at the strip club. But in friendships, especially as you go into new friendships or relationships, set boundaries. Don't let people shake you from your boundaries, because when you set a boundary and you go against it, what you're actually doing is you're building mistrust with yourself. And self-trust is literally everything when it comes to manifesting your reality. If you don't trust yourself on little things, you're sure as hell not going to trust yourself on big things. So remember that it's okay to set boundaries. It's very important to set boundaries and to let people know, this is my boundary. And if it's crossed, that's it. There is no more, because I am no longer people pleasing and doing shit for other people that doesn't make me feel good. And that is okay. Setting boundaries is super important when it comes to healing. And it is essential when you are protecting your own energy. So in new relationships and you're dealing with even breakups and friendships, keep setting your boundaries and just know that your boundaries are there to protect you. Other people set their own boundaries. You can't control that. You're only in control of yourself. And then how we're going to move forward. So you're going through a breakup, a friendship breakup, and now it's time. You've reflected, you've, sent them love and gratitude and whatever, and now you're ready to move forward. What you really need to do is focus on yourself. It could really be a time for you to focus on who you are and who you want to become. Because typically when you lose a friend, it's because you're growing. Or maybe if someone cuts you off, it's because they're growing. This is a two-way street. So if this happens, look at yourself and say, how can I grow? Who do I want to become? What things can I now start to focus on? And allow yourself the time to reconnect with your passions and other people in your life that can support you. So for me, I do spend a lot of time alone. It's just where I'm at in life right now. Eventually, I know that that's going to change, and I'm very excited. I'm really excited to find more friends that are aligned and that I can actually have like deep conversations with, and have conversations with people that can really challenge me and help me grow. But right now, I do spend a lot of time alone. So I work out, I go to yoga, I listen to a ton of Audible books, I read a lot, I journal a lot. I am still selling real estate. I podcast, I YouTube. I'm very in my like study phase right now. So find something that you're passionate about. Maybe read a book. Start reading. Figure out what do you want to do and start to move forward in that direction. Because when you do lose a friend, you actually gain time because you're no longer occupying your time by, hey, what are you doing? Talking on the phone, chatting, texting, sending videos, commenting on each other's social media. So when you do end a friendship, you gain back a lot of time. So look in your life. How do you want to move forward? How do you want to grow? Focus on your passions. And also, as you focus on your passions, be aware because someone's around the corner ready to meet you where you're at. And that leads me to the next part, which is be open to new connections. Healing opens us up to new friendships that will probably have more aligned goals and current values that you have. So just be open to it and open your heart, because again, when you lose a friend, it's either because you're growing or they're growing. So just be open. And then the last part of that is forgiveness. Forgiveness is so important. Whether you're forgiving yourself for maybe something you did, or you're forgiving that person for maybe something that you felt they did that was an injustice to you. Regardless, to move forward, you have to forgive and just let them go. If you did something wrong, you're going to learn and not do it again. If they did something wrong, it's okay. Forgive them. And hopefully they will grow and learn. Because if we do not forgive, we're holding resentment, and that really doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help anyone in life to hold resentment and anger. And it really helps you move forward with peace in your heart. So, and the last thing is like, you don't want to go into a new relationship being angry and holding resentment towards this other person, because now you're like double-minded, and it's like you're trying to move forward, but you're really being tugged back. So you really can't move. So just let it go. It's okay. And it really is going to be for your best to move forward. And again, if that person needs you, something happens in life, they're going to reach out. And same with you. If something happens and you need to tell them, or you want to share something with them, do it. Like, it's not like you are like they're dead to you, unless like they need to be dead to you. But like there's people that when I get married, I'm going to invite them to my wedding because they were part of my life for so long. So they don't have to come, but if you want to come and be a part of this day, we kind of dreamed about you being a part of this day for so long. Like, if you want to come, I would love to have you and you witness this beautiful union. So you never know. Like, you don't need to be like, I'm never talking to them again, they're dead to me. Just like we outgrew each other, and for me to move on, I really need to move on. So keep that in mind. And then just to close it out, I hope this helped, by the way. I feel like it helped me actually. And I'd be curious to know if any of my, past friends will listen to this episode. But I want to encourage you to remember that you're not alone. Everyone goes through friendships that split up and break up at some point. So you're not alone, and just really focus on the friendships that bring you joy and love. And that's really going to help you move forward and move on and be the happiest, most fulfilled version of you. And with that, that's it. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Have you had a friendship breakup? How did you deal with it? What ended up happening? Share whatever. I would love to connect with you guys. And please let me know if this was helpful, because I do feel like it was helpful for me. So that's really cool. I just have so much appreciation for all of the friends that have crossed my path in my life. Every single friend, whether I still talk to them or not, has taught me something. They've all been there for me in very dark times of my life. And so I'm very thankful to all of you. If you ever hear this, just know that you are loved and I'm here for you. So let me know what you guys think. I love you guys, and I will see you back very soon. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also share this message with someone that you think needs to hear it, because again, I don't think that this is talked about enough. Like, we're just told, like, shove it down and move on, but that doesn't help, and we already know that. So share it with someone you know. And I love you guys as always. 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go.